Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have a 2006 Gibson Vegas Standard. Now, I have had another Vegas Standard on the channel, and it is in my absolute favorite finish on these, the Tobacco Sunburst, but this one is natural. So as we learned in previous episodes, there's the high roller version of the Vegas and the standard version of the Vegas. The high roller is kind of like the super fancy one. They have exotic finishes like a green burst and a purple burst. And then there's the standard. The standards had chrome hardware and more plain finishes. I would say natural's probably the most plain out of them, but this guitar is something else. When I purchased this one, it was my first Vegas Standard, and I thought in the photos it was a little bit lackluster. I thought, well, I really want to review one of these because I had just done the high roller in a green burst. But when I got this thing home, I was very impressed with it. Look at all this light figuring in the top and all this beautiful wood grain. It really makes this guitar so special, way more special and good looking than I thought it was going to be. So the Vegas Standards, these are loosely based off of the Trini Lopez 335. And if you know anything about those, you know Dave Grohl used one. He has his own signature Dave Grohl 335 model, which is based on that guitar as well. So those are kind of weird. You've got a double signature going on there. But you have the diamond-shaped holes on this guitar, where an F hole would usually be. Chrome hardware, ebony fretboard with split block inlays, similar once again to the Trini, and the reverse Firebird headstock. Now, this is where these guitars get interesting, because anybody that doesn't like the whole 3 on a side and how it pinches at the nut, and they complain about tuning stability, this cures that. This one is pretty much going to the nut for the most part straight on, so that means you've got great tuning stability on these guitars. So they'll have 2-piece maple tops with mahogany backs and mahogany necks, with ebony fretboards. This guitar was super comfortable. It was very lightweight, and I've got to say, this is definitely something I would consider gigging with. And they still feel really nice. It's not quite as wide as a 335. It's kind of 339-ish, but this feels like just such a nice compact guitar. So now that I've rambled on about how great this guitar is, let's go ahead and hear how it sounds through my Mesa Boogie. Now that we know how this guitar sounds, let's go ahead and look at its condition. Alright, this guitar is in really clean shape. I believe it was sold to me as mint condition. It's got some player's wear on it, but nothing too extreme. You've got some very light scratches here on the face of the headstock from string changes, but the truss rod works just fine. You still have your original nut. Nothing has been replaced on this guitar. Now I do want to make mention that there's just always a dark spot here on the fretboard. It looks like you have residual oil on it or something. That's been there since I first unboxed this guitar, and despite oiling the fretboard and cleaning it, it didn't go away, so I'm not really sure what that's about. The frets show very minor play wear. I mean, there is a little bit of fret wear, so this guitar definitely was played even before me, but I had a great time playing this one today. But again, you have a beautiful ebony fretboard with split diamond inlays. There's not very many models that use these inlays, but when they do, they sure are cool. The face of the guitar here is in really good shape. We've got some light picking scratches and just fingerprints from handling this thing. But for the most part, I don't think anybody would have anything against the condition of this guitar. Just some light polishing swirls, maybe a nick or ding here or there, but it is definitely in very clean condition. You still have your two original 57 classic pickups with your original bridge and tailpiece, and these are just a master volume, master tone guitar. Back of the headstock, our serial number is 020260496, made in USA, so that makes it a 2006 model. Now it's kind of interesting how they make these headstocks. There's a very tiny little wing right here, and then there's kind of a larger one up here. But it's definitely a very cool headstock. Now I noticed when trying to tune this guitar, since it is 6 on a side, these feel really close together, so sometimes it can be hard to turn them and not accidentally hit a different tuner. So you've got pros and cons to 6 in a line, but hey, at least you have tuners. There are no breaks, cracks, or repairs to this example. And something else that's really unique about these guitars is they have the satin finish on the back and the gloss on the front. That's what makes these really excellent players. Because personally, I prefer a bare wood neck feel as compared to the high gloss, and that's where the satin really comes in to save the day. Back of the guitar appears to be a two-piece mahogany. And you've got some light scratches, but overall nothing too incredibly bad on this guitar. Even the two back plates still have the plastic covering over them, so you see that little bubble right there, that'll disappear once you take that covering off. Or you can just leave them there because, well, they've been there for over 10 years. Now along the edges, there are a few factory defects. There's kind of a small impression line, like maybe their fret file slipped or something. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is there. And along the other side here, you can see where some of the finish got on the binding and wasn't properly scraped off. But hey, what can you do? It came from the factory that way. But the sides of the guitar are also in great shape. You just got, once again, very light wear and tear. This guitar, again, is all original. Nothing has been changed on it. It's collector quality if you're looking for a complete set of these. I think that would be an awesome video idea, to have a complete collection of the Vegas series, high roller and standard, all in the same room. That would be amazing. Now we'll do a blacklight test. Everything on the front of the guitar is glowing the way I would expect to see. We don't have any finish wear or major blemishes to really go over here. You can really see the wood grain under the blacklight as well. Kind of the same story with the face of the headstock. Nothing too much going on here. And now on the back, we do have something to go over. I'm guessing the original owner left something in the case and it kind of reacted with the finish, because it's not really a worn area. It's just kind of looks like an impression of some sort. Now I can tell you, feel-wise, you don't feel it at all. And in regular light situations, you don't see it unless you get it in the light just right. You can kind of see what it is. So it is a blemish and it is there to know about. It just kind of looks like a smudge though. Other than that, our neck is looking good here. There are no breaks, cracks, or repairs to the headstock, and everything is black lighting the way I would expect to see. Take a close look at the sides of the guitar. No breaks, cracks, or repairs to the heel. And the sides are also looking in good shape. Now again, it's going to be a slightly uneven glow because the back is a satin finish, whereas the top is the proper gloss nitro finish. This guitar still has its original Gibson USA case. Now, if you hate rectangular cases because they're so large, these cases really aren't any larger than a Les Paul case. They're just rectangular, but lengthwise they're about the same. You have two latches on the front and a combo lock with one of these types of handles, and I really do like those. They're comfortable and they're less prone to breaking, and the combo lock has not been set. The interior is a great dark charcoal color, and you can see this is definitely the original case to this guitar. Now this case does have a compartment lid in here, and when you open it, you have some of the original case candy to this guitar, including the owner's manual. If you think you might be interested in being the next owner of this Gibson Natural Vegas Standard, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Troglys, and don't forget to check out the links in the description. Thank you, Troglodytes, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.